buffed in this patch too. So there's two items that could essentially work here with the mid laner of Ruby. But heading into this second game, V5, this is the most standard you're ever going to get from this team. We'll see, though, if we get another taste of draft from them in this series, or if this is all they can handle against the Rising Warriors, against the Rogue Warriors. Here in the LPL 2020 Spring, it's Game 2 between the two.
I want to see if we see some aggressive level 1 play coming out from Victory 5. When you do have something like a Lee Sin, a Braum, and a Zoe, your level 1 is really incredible, and you can look for these options. Oh, ooh, but Wei Yan, you wouldn't think of this comp looking for the aggressive level 1.
Good volatile spiraling, but the flash comes in from Ali. As you wanted level 1, you got it. It's flash for flash. As the help from Irelia stops the invade too.
I wanted an aggressive level 1 from Victory 5, not from Rogue Warriors. And we see Rogue Warriors again. They pay for their aggression when Victory 5's champions level 1 are so strong.
Do you take the Maokai flash though for the jungle flash here? Probably not.
No.
You probably want the Elise.
When you pick the Maokai into the Aatrox, you already expect a really hard time. I would expect to see him rushing that Bramble Vest, or you're just going to get abused, even if you go for the Balmy Cinder and build a Sunfire Cape.
But hey, V5 invade. There it is. You get what you want in the end on two sides of Summoner's Rift. So you're spoiled for choice. As V5, this is committing to the red start here on the bottom side of Rogue Warriors jungle.
I love this trade side coming out from Victory 5 because when you look at their lanes early, it's really hard for Lee Sin to find an opening against what Rogue Warriors has drafted. So this is really going to just kind of cut the map, let the first few levels be uninterrupted, and you're going to get to scale up on the side of Victory 5.
Notice that Wei Yan as well has started on the Wolves, heading up towards blue as Daylight is crossing the map instead. So not interested in that vertical split, going straight towards his red buff.
No, just looking for that straight jungle advantage from Daylight, maybe opting into getting ahead, getting a first reset, and looking for this 2v2 in the mid lane where if you hit a Sleepy Trouble Bubble into a Sonic Wave, you have a good chance of just deleting Wei Yan or Ruby once you blow that cleanse.
Because let's talk about that matchup a little bit. Bar from the 2v2, how it's influenced by Wei Yan and Daylight. Mole into Ruby this game and Zoe into Irelia is not a matchup we normally see.
No, it was a matchup that was very popular last year when both of these champions were in the meta. But we do expect Zoe to pressure early, and once you start hitting that level 3, level 4 mark after some early resets, Irelia will start looking for aggressive trades, and if you have vision, you have your jungler, you will come out ahead from against the Zoe.
Okay, well, for Ruby, you know, in this mid lane, he has constantly been down. So against Mole, their best player, let's see how he handles it. But for Wei Yan, he was considering a top lane dive with a big wave built up by Crazy, and Ali is only at 2 CS. Oh no. Move the camera. Oh god, move the camera away. This is horrible to watch.
I actually think that dive could have worked from Rogue Warriors, but we saw the pings come out from mid lane. Maybe either expecting Daylight to gank because they pushed in the wave, they aren't the ones looking for a gank, or something along those lines, because that dive, could have worked. And
would have absolutely destroyed Ali as he has the teleport to come back to the lane, but meanwhile, attention towards the bottom side here. Y4 unfavorable trade against Jung Wooji and Lei. Remember, it's so hard in this lane to beat out an Aphelios with Severum available. There's that interaction you're talking about before there. Good trouble bubble by Mole. Wins out the trade himself.
Yeah, Mole being able to zone Ruby off this wave. Ruby knows that his jungle is back. He has no idea where Daylight is, so he can't contest the CS. Good kind of game intuition right now, thinking, is Lee Sin on my Raptors?
He walks on in. Ward finally going to come out. Cleanses away. Ignites there. Sonic Wave into the flash here from Daylight. Underneath turret. Does he survive? Yes, he does. And Mole gets first blood.
I just want to say, we've seen this exact same play from Ruby week 1, where he knew or expected that the jungler was invading his Raptors, walked towards those Raptors, and got picked off by the mid jungle.
Even the cleanse, he thought it was fine, but flashes a little bit later after the Ignite goes down, and it's way too late. Net positive here in the mid lane of V5.
Look at the CS lead coming out from Crazy. Alias is one of our weaker laners in the LPL, and Crazy is one of our stronger just in terms of pure laning. And this is not how we would expect this matchup to go, despite it being pretty bad for the Maokai.
So net negative V5, I think, in total, because that kill in the mid lane does not make up for what is a 25 CS advantage just about. Even off this lane, Alias is like, how do I farm here? Wei Yan is bullying with Daylight nearby. It's a 2v2 in the top lane, but Daylight nor Wei Yan want to go on in. And Alias finally does pick up the majority of a wave. But he's like, I need to back, I need to TP in.
Turning our attention, I was just going to talk about CLX making his way to the mid lane. Kalista safely farming under turret. This was the matchup we're focusing on.
Yeah, and he's going to get the sundown as well. So that's double CC duration. Daylight comes on in. Mole ends up picking the kill. They wanted to give a bit more gold over to this Lee Sin.
Yeah, we talked about this coming out from draft. The mid lane matchup is where we're looking. We even saw Wei Yin back off that dive early just to go and cover for Ruby. You need this Irelia to get a few levels, get a few items before she can start aggressively making trades. And Victory 5, once again, showing such a good understanding of early game.
It's become, though, a quick battle of top versus mid. Who can find the largest discrepancy in this game? And now with 2 kills and a CS lead, Mole seems to be winning that as V5 also transition that lead towards the Cloud Dragon.
I'd say the problem is Rogue Warriors aren't looking for this advantage top, right?
Yep.
Crazy's just getting that naturally himself. Rogue Warriors have the ability to dedicate resources into the mid lane, and they're just opting not to.
Because Crazy right now with that advantage still able to push off the tree, still looking pretty good. But you can see the priority from Wei Yin. He's towards this bottom side. He wants to influence other parts of the map. Wants to leave it for now, and this is super dangerous as a play. Walking in to get the smite steal. Was it worth it? Up into the rappel, down immediately. Lei comes in to protect it. Yes, it was a very dangerous play. Sought out well by Wei Yin.
That was really confusing, though. Wei Yin walking up solo. Lei wasn't even hovering towards the river. Sure, Ruby was, but you're still going to end up in a 2 versus 3 scenario.
And after that scuttle, look at the CS difference in the jungle as well. So they've started to build up an individual lead there, with Wei Yin farming this early game a lot better.
But when you pick Elise, you aren't looking for this CS advantage in the jungle. We talked about you picked Elise to pair well with these AD soul laners, and you've thus far really made no impact.
Very true. So let's disregard that for the time being. Wei Yin, though, should be coming back with a Runic Echoes buy. I don't do math, so we'll have to see when he does eventually back. He's got a couple more camps to clear if English was strong today, and then we'll soon find out. See if he can get into this lane with Mole, who both has Flash and Ignite available. Going to be very hard for Wei Yin, a big task. As Crazy looking to join as well.
Rogue Warriors do have pressure in both of their side lanes.
Hang on, Wei Yin moving mid, Flash away from Mole, that's his real Flash. Sorry, you were saying.
So Rogue Warriors have pressure on both of their side lanes. What we want to see is, okay, if Crazy wants to keep abusing this matchup because he's coming out so much further ahead of Alia's fair, but you have no kill threat onto Zhong Wuji in the bot lane. I want to see Lei make his way up to mid, leave Zhong Wuji alone, and start helping Irelia clear this vision. We saw just 30 seconds ago, Victory 5 had a control ward on each side of mid lane. What can Irelia do in this scenario?
That's right. Now that Vision's gone back, I mean, Lei can get the advantage in the sweet blind spots available. Especially now since bottom lane is transitioning top here for V5. 8 minutes on the dot. They're looking to secure advantages around this Rift Herald.
This is the expected Victory 5 play. I would like to see Rogue Warriors contest, but Rogue Warriors know the big carry they've always played for is Zhong Wuji, just preferring to get some CS, get some gold, get some plates onto him. Let him carry you in these mid to late game fights as always.
But now that they're still in the bottom lane, what does Crazy do? The Maokai's going up against the 1v2. And Wei Yin has spotted out that this has started. He's level 7 versus level 6. Has Runic Echoes for the extra damages. Oh no. Ruby has walked into it again, and Mole had Ignite but didn't want to use it.
Yeah, and we saw Rogue Warriors posturing to contest for that Herald, but you're in a 3 versus 4. You have numbers disadvantage. You should be looking to trade for the bot side, and we see Ruby really struggling from the lack of pressure he's been given from his team. Lei has just sandbot all game pretty much for no reason. We've only seen Wei Yin kind of shadow from mid lane around level 3, level 4, and has never made his way back to help Ruby push the wave, control vision, look for these trades.
Trade happening on the top and bottom side now, though. I was just chuckling at Alias trying to walk up and get some farm. At least he's having a better time than when he was versing Crazy. But a couple of plates taken in the top lane, rather just 1 for now, while 2 in the bottom lane taken by this duo. But remember, Daylight has himself the Rift Herald, so that can be dropped at any time. And it looks like the play is now.
Rogue Warriors just falling so behind on these rotations. When you look at tape from a team like Victory 5, you know they're going to look for that Rift Herald play. You could have looked to match something like that. They're not coming out ahead in the bot lane. They're not coming out ahead in the mid lane. And they're just giving up this tower and this pressure for free.
Especially not now, like Y4 has caught up on the extra gold that Wuji and Lei picked up on the turrets, so really good position here for V5 and a lot more stable with the early game play here. They've got a lot more to work on. Whatever they said in the break between game 1 and 2, it's worked so far.
And when we look at the scaling from both of these compositions, they both do have elements to play around in the late game. You have Irelia, Aphelios, and Rakan, who all go pretty well into the late game. But when you look at comp versus comp, Victory 5 have a lot of ways to shut down Aatrox, Irelia, and Rakan getting onto your backline. You have the ultimate from the Maokai. You have all the CC loaded in Brahm's kit, Sleepy Trouble Bubble. I think it'll be really easy for Victory 5 to play these front-to-back team fights in the late game.
We might even see one earlier on, though. Now, if we talk away from late game for a second, we are transitioning slowly into this mid. Dragons coming up for the second time around in Ocean. Bottom side control here from V5, and it looks like for the side of Rogue Warriors, they are going to be contesting this one. Crazy almost with his teleport available. Aliez too. I think it's fight time.
And this is what we talked about from Rogue Warriors.
Woo, never mind. Lay in and Mole dead. Big shutdown over to the Elise.
We said when you're playing Aphelios Rakan against a Kalista Braum, you really have no threat in that bot lane. We want to see Lei moving. We want to see him make an impact on mid lane. That's what this meta is all about in Season 10.
Lei was trying to move there before and didn't really get the opportunity to, but now finally gets the kill. However, Rogue Warriors, you can see that Wei Yan and Ruby stayed in lane or moved up to the top side. They had no interest in the dragon.
Rogue Warriors got a kill in mid. Rogue Warriors had numbers advantage. Rogue Warriors had the pressure, and Rogue Warriors opt not to take the objective.
And he's not opting to go for a dive or anything in the top lane either. Alias is scared, of course, because he should be. He doesn't know where this jungler is, and he's 50 CS behind of Crazy. But back to farming, Wei Yan goes.
Alia's build is also pretty greedy. When you're getting abused to such a degree, you would expect to either see the Ninja Tabi or Bramble Vest.
Bramble Vest, but hang on. Fate's Fall in the bottom lane onto Lei. Ultimate comes through as well. And then Fisher ends up hitting Lei too. A bit of health here from the Guardian, but Y4 may have bitten off too much. Gravitum comes in. Ultimate as well. The Kalista burns a little bit hard as Wuji's looking for the activate, but used moments ago. Mole now joining the fight. Gets blocked by a minion. Lei was dead there, by the way. But teleport to join. Here we go. Flash forward with the Aphelios. Two-man Gravitum. Crazy comes in. And it's AoE knock up heaven here for Rogue Warriors. Alias now joins in as well. But this Maokai has no stats. You mentioned it before. And he pays for it with his life this time around.
And we saw out of that aggressive trade from Victory 5, Kalista Braum, you just really have no kill threat from Zhang Wuji. You blew all your summoners, you got way too low, and Rogue Warriors able to turn it around relatively easily.
Even burning the flash from Daylight at the end of the trade as Wei Yan aggressors on in, and Rogue Warriors now have full access to this bottom lane turret to clearing out vision and getting some deep wards of their own.
Yeah, despite us really talking down on how Rogue Warriors were playing out their early game with this comp, we saw Victory 5 make a bit of an overstep looking for that 2v2 kill. Great TP coming in from Crazy and them able just to clean up that fight on the end of it.
Things look good for V5 until they don't. There's a classic story here for this team that's sitting at the bottom of the table where they get off to an early start, much like game number 1, and then either they don't know what to do with it as Daylight, yeah, that's my red, or they fall by the wayside and they make a critical error that costs them the potential game as Wuji with the flash forward started this one.
And we already see Victory 5's key champions don't have their ultimates. No ultimate on Kalista or Braum. Crazy TPing in, getting a great Q1. All of Victory 5 is now low and really easy for Rogue Warriors to clean up that fight.
Now with a gold lead in this game as well. For the first time around, 1,500 in their name. At 14 minutes in, also take note of the items. We already had a Runic Echoes there before, but we've got ourselves on the way to Blade of the Ruined King for Ruby. He has a Phage in his inventory, but it looks like the transition from Phage, the extra movement speed, will now be going to the new item, Blade of the Ruined King.
Buying a Phage probably just for, like you said, that movement speed, a bit of extra tankiness from the health. You were getting really abused in the early game, just kind of left to yourself. But going for that Blade of the Ruined King build that we talked about, and now we finally see Lei being an active participant on the map. Rogue Warriors posturing to contest for this Rift Herald that is going to come up soon.
Less than a minute at this point, it seems. Dragon's a minute 45 as well, by the way. Actually, 20 seconds until Herald, excuse me. We lost our little timer. I don't know where it went, but it's not there. Lei, watch out. Ignite down from Mole, but it's a fake one. He's got Luden's Echo here on the Zoe, so you can see the burst damage starting to come out. And Rogue Warriors being very cautious where they stand in the vicinity of Mole.
I like the defensive play coming out from Ruby. If you look at the mini-map on the bot side, they haven't seen Lee Sin on the map. They know there's a potential he could be dove had he shown on that turret. He decides not to. Rogue Warriors come out ahead in this trade, getting a tower and a Rift Herald against just a tower.
And you can see how comfortable Crazy is with his team topside getting the Herald, but also the vision that is consistently being put up in that topside jungle. There are no blind spots for V5 to try and make their way in for a steal or for a kill on Crazy. Controlled play here from Rogue Warriors to bring this game back after capitalizing massive only minutes ago.
A cool thing to note too is, even though, despite being able to get the Rift Herald and top lane turret, Rogue Warriors still come out with a tempo advantage.
Yep.
Typically, when you're the team forcing the objective, the other team can, push the wave mid, get your recall timings, and get on the map first to look for the next play.
Now for V5, they're just trying to find more picks on the map. You can see Dragon up in 30 seconds. They're waiting around the bottom side, while the side of Rogue Warriors, they've reset. They've gone back, picked up parts of their items. Black Cleaver now there on Crazy. And Berserker Greaves plus the Cloak of Agility on top of Wuji's already built Essence Reaver first. Crazy trying to bait them in. Dragon up in 10.
And we've already talked about Victory 5 feel really good if Rogue Warriors comp walks into you with the amounts of disengage you have coming out from the Braum and from the Maokai.
But Wei Yan ignited, burnt down here by Mole. The Fate's Call comes through, but up into the rappel he goes. The ulti doesn't catch him on the end. And the poke damage from Rogue Warriors finally starts coming in as well. Wei Yan backs away with hardly any health, but he has a smite to heal up from this camp.
I like how slow Victory 5 are taking this. Let Mole lay down the poke damage.
Ooh, like that. Trouble Bubble lands as well. Mole can't go in though. He's zoned away. The engage comes through as quickness here from Lei. The Nature's Grasp to slow them down. V5 do pick up the third dragon, but now can they escape? Alias is re-engaging as the ult here. The World Ender times out. Y4 gets some stacks, but so does Rogue Warriors. Ruby jumps in. And to the disregard of V5, they have to back away. They get the dragon, they lose 2. But now they're at Soul Point.
We talked about this. Victory 5's composition does so well kiting back. We already saw with that Maokai ultimate, they were able to get the dragon. They were probably going to be able to walk away just fine. But Maokai, Alias engaged into Rogue Warriors, and Rogue Warriors come out ahead.
Now, RW with a 4K gold lead. I said before in that fight, we are on Soul Point for V5, though. So you never know. Now, at this point, who's that Crazy? I'm assuming 9 CS a minute. 150 at 17 minutes in this game. He's dominated over Alias. Alias still not at 100 CS at 18 minutes, by the way.
We stated that the Aatrox versus Maokai matchup is bad for Maokai, but Crazy has done so well pushing this to the absolute limits.
Yep.
And we see in this fight, Victory 5 are doing fine, just getting this Drake, probably able to back off, but they are the ones who engage. Crazy tanking up the damage on the front line. Great engage coming from Ruby, getting straight onto the backline of Victory 5. They are able to now peel out, and Victory 5 just have to disengage.
Ruby's becoming a menace. He's got Blade of the Ruin King built after that trade as well. Level 11 Aurelia for the Vanguard's Edge.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Menace is a strong word. Slowly becoming a threat, but not exactly a menace yet.
Okay, well, where is he on the gold? Because gold to me is everything. He's in the middle. You're right. Slow threat. I agree to that. Not a menace just yet, but you know where this goes, right? He's already got a Phage. He's building towards what seems to be Trinity Force coming second. Yeah.
Last game we talked about how Victory 5...
Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to cut you off. It's time for Ruby to fight again, and in this trade, I don't think he wins. Nope, he's caught out on a ward.
Last game we talked about how Victory 5 were the team that wants to play through side lanes. This game, they have a comp that really wants to play grouped up as a 5-man mid. We now see them playing through side lanes and catching Ruby off guard.
0, 3, and 6. I mean, he was caught out in lane a couple of times. Now caught out towards the top side. Y4 getting a much-needed kill in this game. Well, look at Crazy. Meanwhile, against Alias, same old story. Sunfire Cape finally complete here for Alias, but no Brambles Vest you mentioned earlier in the game. Still, Aatrox having free roam in this bottom lane. While the rest of V5, or Rogue Warriors rather, look for the push, flush over the wall. Wow, ambitious play. Wei Yan, that was gorgeous. And now onto CLX, he has no hope in the world as Graviton comes through and the rest of V5 just leave. Wei Yan, perfect positioning.
finally seeing flashes of that bloodthirsty Rogue Warriors we were talking about kind of before the series. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up another one with Daylight caught out.
Oh my god, the cocoon lands again. You're joking. Daylight gets a kick down, and that'll hit Crazy as well, but he's on the wrong side of the rift, and Ruby wants a kill. Give him his first one. He deserves it this time around, and look at the death timers. Baron's there waiting.
Victory 5 just not where they should be on the map. End up getting picked off. This has always been our criticism of Victory 5. At least these past two series, they've had a really good early game, but when it starts getting to the 15-20 minute mark, they just look like they don't know what to do.
Rogue Warriors have been capitalizing on that each and every game. 20 minutes in, Baron there, and now it's gone. Big gold lead for Rogue Warriors to play through, and look how many turrets standing that they can start taking down.
Makes you wonder, because we saw Rogue Warriors consciously giving up all the dragons, instead deciding to funnel gold onto Zhang Wuji, onto Crazy, just saying, okay, we're fine, you can get the soul point. When it comes to these deciding fights and skirmishes, we'll come out ahead. And Wei Yin being so aggressive right here, just flashing over, hitting that cocoon, Lei following on the back end, just really good play coming out from Rogue Warriors. We always love to see them being this strong aggressor.
Super decisive as well, and he's hit another one
he
yet
hits
again.
another one.
CLX caught out of position. Wei Yin backing away. This is a 5-0 Elise, and we don't get a chance much to talk about Wei Yin, but in the past couple of series, he's been performing mighty fine. In this game, the aggressive play to the cocoon through the minion wave. He's been on fire.
Ever since coming in for Haru, each game Wei Yin looks better and better with this team. They really look like they've kind of come into form, especially as the game has gone on.
Because Wei Yin last year was among the bottom of the junglers. Haru was the better jungler in this team.
Last year, Wei Yin was subbed out for Haru.
Never mind. Vanguard's edge. Mole is dead. Ruby gets yet another kill. He's gone Black Cleaver, by the way. So, big boy here on the Aurelia now.
Yeah, typically, especially from solo queue, we still have seen that you go Blade of the Rune King into the Triforce on the side of the Aurelia. Coming out with this kind of tankier build, trying to apply these cleave stacks and really get the most out of it.
It's super easy. You saw a Molt. He disappeared. Just like this turret. Rogue Warriors putting on a bit of a clinic in the rest of this game. Right now for V5, it's looking pretty sad in the waters. Can they defend here? Baron aggressing onto them. Their jungler's not even nearby. If a fight starts here, Rogue Warriors will win this one.
Rogue Warriors just kind of showing their superior individual skill this game. They didn't make the team plays we wanted to see in the early game.
Here comes the Nature's Grasp once again here. Crazy on the side, dodges away from it as the engage comes through. Kick onto Lei to disengage, but at this point, V5 could just lose the game if they lose here. CLX to drop first. Lei is still alive. Daylight jumps on in, but they can't get the kills. Y4 has so many spears, but not able to get the renders. Wuji's walking back in, and Crazy gets free roam. Everyone dead but Daylight, and this could just be the game.
Y4 jumped in so aggressively, even though Rogue Warriors were the ones who started that exchange. Not quite sure what he was thinking he could do. They are about 10k gold behind, but...
Wuji even flashing forward. That shows you how this game is. V5 are not going to get another game win. They're not going to get their first series win. They're definitely not going to showcase here against Rogue Warriors, who put on a bit of a clinic towards this mid to late game. 23 minutes in, that's how it's done. Final kills on the Nexus. A 2-0 to keep Rogue Warriors rolling through the LPL Spring.